A shakeup in the Trump administration. Attorney General Bill Barr leaving before Christmas. We had President Trump making that announcement yesterday. Now we want to bring in Rick Newman for a little bit more on this and stimulus and everything that's going on in D.C. And Rick, the reports that President Trump had been growing frustrated with him. Now Barr is leaving. I guess talk to us just what do you see as the implications of this?
Trump is frustrated with everybody who acknowledges reality. The universe of people who don't think Joe Biden won is getting smaller and smaller every day. Bill Barr has indicated, yes, Joe Biden did win the election, and no, there was no election fraud. So Trump went after him on Twitter a few days back, and Barr saw the writing on the wall, and he's getting out of the Trump administration before the final days. I think one unstated thing here is Bill Barr probably is anticipating a lot of pardons coming at the end of the Trump administration, some of them perhaps unsavory. People who really don't deserve to be pardoned, cronies of Trump, and he would prefer not to be associated with that. So he wants to go out, I guess, maintaining whatever dignity he thinks he still has.
Then why write that letter the way he wrote his resignation letter? I mean, it was almost like Times Square, the movies they showed there in the 1970s, which nobody could go to. You know where I'm going with that one. Why that letter? I mean, that letter, wow.
Because you don't say what you're actually thinking. I mean, what better way to disguise your true motives, perhaps disassociate yourself a little bit from the last gasps of the Trump administration than go out with a fawning praise of your former boss. And didn't we accomplish a lot? It was a great time. What an excellent adventure we had. The bottom line for Bill Barr is he's not going to be there. And by the way, he supposedly is staying on for a few more days, and then he's going to go spend time with his family over the Christmas holidays. That's his real reason for leaving, I suppose. So he's just not going to be there basically during the last, let's say, 3 to 4 weeks of the Trump administration. So he can go out, buddy with Trump, elbow to elbow. But whatever happens during the last 3 or 4 weeks of the Trump administration, he's not there for it. And it could get kind of ugly, Adam. I mean, what is Trump's end game here? Is he going to insist right up until January 20th that he won? And is he going to refuse to leave the White House? Is he going to have to be escorted out by armed marshals? I mean, what exactly is going to happen here? I think Bill Barr just doesn't want to be associated with it. So he's, giving a happy nod and saying, good luck to you all.
Well, going off of that, Rick, we heard from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell today. He was saying that the U.S. officially does have a president-elect. He acknowledged the fact that Joe Biden has won, that his administration will be taking over in January. Is there more pressure now for President Trump to finally acknowledge this?
Right. So this is a statement of the obvious by McConnell. Biden won. But it's important because on January 6th, there's this formality that most of the time we pay no attention to, which is that Congress officially counts the electoral votes in a joint session on January 6th. Normally, that's just a pro forma event with no drama. But it looks like this year there could be some effort, some very desperate last-ditch effort that will not work to try to deny Biden from actually getting those electoral votes. Now, for that to work, this is complicated, and we won't go into all the details, but there has to be at least one senator and one member of the House of Representatives who object to the count. So what McConnell wants to happen or not happen is he does not want any of the Republican senators to be the one senator who objects to the count and therefore creates this turmoil that, in his estimation, I think, is just going to look very bad for the Republicans in the Senate. So he's basically saying, let's get on with business, guys. We got a lot to do in 2021. We still need to win those 2 seats in Georgia to retain control, which is not settled, by the way. We should keep that in mind. There still is a chance Democrats could control the Senate. And he just doesn't want to be associated with this sad and desperate effort to overturn what is a legitimate election.
Let's shift gears quickly to stimulus. Is McConnell willing to truly compromise in some way on the issue of helping states, both red and blue states, or does he hold the cards on that one?
It could be both, Adam. I'm not sure he holds every single card here, but McConnell and some conservative members of the Senate, my sources say, they just are institutionally opposed to more aid to states and cities. They associate that this core, it's not all Republicans, just a core group of McConnell and some other conservative Republicans in the Senate. They associate state aid with Democratic bailout, bailing out blue states. And McConnell would probably rather sink both measures the liability shield for businesses and state and local aid than compromise. That's what my sources are telling me. So I think the prospect of a bill that is around, the sort of the bigger portion of the split bill, which is around $750 billion, and it would include more aid for small businesses, more aid for the unemployed. I mean, that's not a small number. There are better prospects for that passing. And then it's possible we go to 21 without state and local aid and without a liability shield, which we might not get at all in 21. So it depends who ends up controlling the Senate after those Georgia elections. And then if there does seem to be a real need, and remember, there are some red states really hurting too. I mean, a lot of red states actually could use help from Washington, just as some blue states. So it's possible the House could come up with some kind of bill, and then you could get some Republicans to vote for it in the Senate, along with most Democrats. But if McConnell's in charge, he gets to decide whether that bill comes to the floor for a vote or not. And that's one reason that which party ends up controlling the Senate is extremely important. That's going to affect many billions of dollars of spending or not spending come 2021.